morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Happy Monday and welcome to the Monday Morning Show. I'm Noah.
And I'm Ashley.
And we are your hosts. Ashley, what's going on today? How are ya?
I'm doing really good. I had a really great weekend.
Did you? What'd you get up to?
Well, I went camping.
Oh, like glamping?
No, like camping. For the first time.
If you don't know Ashley very well, she's not a camping type.
No, I like to camp in a cabin with a toilet. And this time I camped with a backpack.
And a tent?
And a tent.
How did it go?
It was okay.
It was okay?
It was
Would
okay.
you do it again?
Undecided yet. I need a little time to think about it and
gotta
see.
Decompress, gotta
I was with some good girlfriends, so that made up for it, but it was weird.
That's different.
Dried out food in a bag. And,
I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
Trying something new.
Thank
Good for
you.
you. That's great.
How was your weekend?
My weekend was good. I didn't do a whole lot. Went to the beach.
Nice.
And it wasn't very warm, but it was still sand and water, and that was lovely. So it was a great weekend.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, today is a great day.
Today is a great day.
One of my
why is today a great
favorite holidays.
Day? Your favorite one?
Yeah, one of them. Yeah.
Okay.
It's National Rice Krispie Treat Day.
National Rice Krispie Treat Day. That is a good holiday.
It is.
I love a Rice Krispie Treat.
I love a Rice Krispie Treat.
Especially an ooey gooey homemade Rice Krispie Treat.
I think I make the best.
Do you really?
I think so.
Maybe we should have a Rice Krispie Treat competition.
Yes.
And then we can see for sure who makes the best.
All right, let's do it.
Okay, great.
I want to be a taste tester.
You're not going to make one?
Yeah.
Oh, you're going to make one and...
I won't be a judge. I just want to taste test.
You'll just taste
yes.
it. Okay, that seems kosher to me. Well, it's Rice Krispie Treat Day. Tell me some more.
Yeah, well, Rice Krispies were invented in 1939.
Wow.
I'm sorry, Rice Krispie Treats. The first, rice cereal treat came around in that time. Huh. And then, of course, Kellogg's jumped in there and trademarked Rice Krispie Treats.
Oh, yes. Of course.
Interesting fact. People loved Rice Krispie Treats so much that in 1990, Kellogg's introduced a Rice Krispie Treat cereal. So they got Rice Krispies were made into a treat, and now a treat was made into a cereal.
So it started as a cereal, became a treat, and then the treat became a cereal?
Became a treat-flavored cereal, yes.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't know if they still make it or not, but...
Were the first Rice Krispie Treats made with Rice Krispies, or was it just a rice cereal?
You know, I'm not sure, but I know they jumped on real quick.
Well, yeah.
I saw kind of a Girl Scout-type troop sold them.
Really?
Mm-hmm, as they were gaining popularity.
Cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
So kind of fun.
That is fun.
Yeah. Should we dive into our week?
We should. Should we eat some Rice Krispie Treats, though?
I forgot about them.
We have a little Rice Krispie Treat snack.
Since they're here, we might as well.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, these are a special Rice Krispie Treat. They're from our lovely bistro. And they're a chewy marshmallow treat with brown butter and sea salt.
Fancy.
Which feels way too fancy.
It does.
But I love it.
Cheers. Mmm.
What an easy thing to eat on camera.
Don't mind us.
They're very good. That is delicious. Nothing beats a Rice Krispie Treat.
It's so good.
Yum.
Chew, chew, chew.
And now, I think we should jump into our week.
All right.
So, what do we have today?
Well, after this show, at 10 a.m., we've got a Holland Master Plan presentation in the auditorium. So Senior Planner Steve Peterson will join us and give a presentation on the newly proposed master plan for the City of Holland.
Wow, awesome. That should be really cool. And then this afternoon, we have cardio drumming, which is just so much fun. So join us in the gym at 3 p.m. for a lovely half hour of cardio drumming.
Fun and exercise.
Fun and music and giggles all around.
Wonderful. Tomorrow, Tuesday at 10 a.m., Tech with Sandy class is a password manager workshop. So bring your devices, your passwords, your notes down to the Michigan room, and Sandy will help you learn how to manage your passwords, which is so important because everywhere you go needs a password, and it requires a uppercase, a lowercase, a symbol, a social security number. I don't know.
Yeah, it's everything.
It's crazy.
It needs it all, and everything has to be different, so we got to organize those things.
We do. No sign up required. Just show up on Tuesday in the Michigan room.
Perfect. And then at 11 a.m., there is a skills and supplies lesson with the village artists, and that would be in the third floor conference room.
Yes.
And what are they learning?
So they're going to be learning about how to fix maybe a mistake in their drawing while they're drawing it, how to kind of work on some different perspectives. So
cool.
yeah,
That sounds really neat.
It'll be great.
Awesome. And then later in the afternoon, we've got line dancing at 2 p.m. in the gym. So join Martha Zahn and the line dancers for some fun movement.
Wednesday, we have our menu meeting in the auditorium at 10 a.m. So this is where you can join all the members of the dining team, Terry, the chef, the managers, all of that, and kind of talk about what's been going on in the dining rooms, give some feedback, ask some questions. And so it's a really good time, open forum for that. Cool. And then in the afternoon, we have 2 p.m. in the atrium. We've got musical reminiscing. So that's always a good time.
Yeah. And then on Thursday evening, we have bingo night.
Bingo!
Which is bingo. I know Ashley and I are your favorite bingo callers every week, but we're going to try some live and in-person bingo. So I will be there Thursday night to do some live and in-person bingo calling. We'll have lots of great prizes. It'll just be...
Are you the caller?
I think I'm going to be the caller.
That's fun.
Yeah, so it'll be a great time, and hopefully you'll go home with a cool prize. I've been picking out lots of fun bingo prizes, so there should be some good stuff. And that's 7:15 in the auditorium on Thursday night.
I think it's been over 3 years since we've had in-person bingo.
Well, in-person bingo used to be in the gym and was resident run, correct?
Yep.
Yeah. So it's since COVID, it's been
It'll be really fun to get back together.
Yeah, it should be a good time. Everybody loves bingo.
Friday, we've got a fun, exciting day. It is our annual Art Prize bus trip, so heading down to Grand Rapids to see all of the art that's on display for Art Prize. We'll be joined by Carolyn Cook. We'll jump on our bus, give us a little guided tour, and then we'll also be going to Bistro Bella Vita for lunch, and then exploring some more art. Is that correct?
Some more art before we head home. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah, it'll be a great day. And in the evening, we have the Hope Great Performance Series, a bus to the Para Mar Dance Theater show. Not the, yeah. And that's, that is at 7 p.m. on Friday evening to catch the bus.
And do we buy our own tickets for that?
Yes, tickets are on your own for that, and then there is a small fee for the bus transportation through Freedom Village, but that is paid to activities. So.
Fantastic. Sounds good. And we can wrap up our week Saturday morning with our weekly pancake breakfast in the bistro from 7:45 to 9.
Perfect.
And that's our week.
That's our week. It's going to be a good one.
I think it's going to be a great one.
Well, I think we have an exciting interview to share today.
We do. We've got an interview with a longtime resident, Jack Greendonner, and he's going to tell us about his time and travels with Freedom Village and the joy he's had working with some kids around here as well.
Awesome. Let's check it out.
Good morning, everyone here from Freedom Village. This is the morning show, and we're happy to be here, and I'm with Jack Greendonner. How are you this morning, Jack?
Well, since it's not morning, I'm pretty good.
Well, we can fool anybody. They don't know when we did this. Could have been midnight. Who knows?
So this is the Jack and Joe show that's gone on for years and years?
Oh, it's only been going on for, I don't know, for you and I together? Not very much, Jack. We used to meet in the elevator, and my husband and yours used to say, well, here's two Jacks, and that beats everything.
That's right.
Okay. Well, today we're talking just about you, and we're going to get your story today. So many people would like to know about you. And maybe you told it to a lot of people here already, but I don't know all of it. So I'm just going to be the inquiring person today. Okay?
All right.
Now, your birthplace was not here in Holland, Michigan. I know that much.
I am not Dutch.
I am, but I wasn't born here either. So where were you born?
Buffalo, New York.
Buffalo, brothers and sisters too?
I have some brothers, but they were born in other places.
In other places, so you're kind of used to traveling around, your family, right?
Oh yes, and I just got back from Buffalo a month ago. I went to what I think was my first family reunion, and that was from the Polish side of my family, which is pronounced Ryszka.
Ryszka, that's
but it's Ryszka.
Okay,
and they started this reunion before I was born. in 1935, and they've held it in the same pavilion in the same park for 88 years. So I think I made it to the 88th reunion, and everybody there was a cousin, including the 3 famous cousins who were also my babysitters.
What made them famous because of that?
Well, because they all called me Jackie.
Oh,
That's all they know to call me. You know, what do I do if someone 98 years old says, "Hi, Jackie"?
oh, well, that's quite an event. Were there a lot of people there?
There were over 100 cousins that I never knew of.
I can't imagine what that would be like. Hello, my name is Jack, and who are you, right?
And Jack doesn't do it. They had to know my last name.
Yeah, and who your parents were, and who your...
And that was difficult too.
Oh, well, so that's, you've got a Polish background, and you've got Greendonner, which is, to me, more, what is it?
Well, Greendonner is another name that's very strange. It doesn't come from like Germany. I know my grandfather got off the boat in 1893, and it was from Germany.
Yeah.
But his name wasn't Greendonner. It was Greendonner.
Groen, yeah.
Georg Greendonner.
Yeah, Groen.
And then
yeah.
he got off the boat on Ellis Island,
Mm-hmm.
and they graciously changed his name to George Greendonner.
Mm-hmm.
So my name is what, Elysian? I don't know how to describe that.
But it's very nice. You've got some relatives now, and you probably had other Greendonner relatives, and you probably had a lot of reunions with them too. No? Okay.
I don't even see my brothers.
Oh, well,
And
that's sad, but we won't go there, okay? So anyway, you moved here for some reason or other, and what made you move to Michigan?
well, I followed my wife.
Oh, good advice.
She took me to an event in St. Joe. I call them dog and pony shows that was put on by Steve in marketing. And my wife took me to it, and I won the door prize, which were Freedom Village home-baked cookies. And I said, well, I could go there.
Yeah.
So we visited here.
What did you do in Stevensville? Were you teaching?
Yeah, I never worked. I just taught school,
What level?
high school.
What'd you teach?
Government and history, none of which is practiced now by any government I know of.
We used to call it civics. Is that right?
Some people do, yeah. It's just difficult to teach something and discover that your government doesn't operate that way any longer.
But now, you've kept in, but have you been part of a library system wherever you
Well,
live?
that's the other thing I did in Stevensville. Before I left, I retired from the library board. I was elected in '72. I had 40 years on the library board. And that was mixed in with the Boy Scouts, because I was with the Boy Scouts as an assistant scoutmaster. And I was always finding boys who wanted to be an Eagle Scout who needed a project to do. And so the library was a natural. They would build bookcases, they would move huge structures around the library, all kinds of things. So we always had something to do there.
Oh, how'd that all fit together? I
It
never
all
thought
came
of that.
together, yeah.
It does, just like carpentry does. It does.
Mhm.
And so that was your Stevensville. You lived there how long?
Well, we were over 50 years in the same house.
Well,
But that's much different than my early life. I said I was born in Buffalo, New York, but
yeah.
from Buffalo I moved north of Buffalo to Tonawanda, south of Buffalo to Lackawanna, Paterson, New Jersey,
Mhm.
Stafford, Connecticut, New York City for quite a few years, and from New York City to Olivet College, where I met my wonderful wife.
What a nice trip. What a nice trail that leaves.
Yes.
Okay. So here you are. And when you came here, you got involved with the library here?
Yeah, they like me on the library board because when I first got here, I still lifted books. I don't lift as many now, but nowadays when they find people donate too many books and they've got duplicates or they have books that are in poor condition or something, they encourage me to put them in my car and I take them to Gateway, which has been something that Freedom Village has done for me. I never did much with thrift shops. They kind of scare me, but I discovered Gateway as a whole program of hiring the homeless, the people in serious trouble, and training them for a year or more and producing a citizen others can be proud of. It's a real program. So I take our stuff over there.
That's a volunteer program too for a lot of people, isn't it?
Oh, yes.
From here, people do work that.
You can go over there and volunteer to be involved in their training projects. It's really nice.
But you not only do that, but you also volunteer, I know, because you've gone to a local school here and you do your volunteer time there.
Right. I even show my picture of the second graders I worked with. How's that?
Oh.
The Baggy Books program, and the teacher took their picture at the end of the year. And it's been great.
Did you get
once
that?
a week, hours the one morning, once a week. Unfortunately, a lot of Freedom Village people either don't know about it or have lost interest.
Or I think maybe a little more propaganda, a little more, you got to figure out
Right,
how
it's a big
did.
pro. This last year, I was pretty much the only one in the van going over there. Other years, there have been as many as 5 or 6, but this year was kind of slow.
So someone can volunteer their time to just be with this person, a student, and talk to them, read the books to them? Is
Oh,
that the-
usually you listen to them and work on pronunciation and check on the meaning of words. And
What level are they?
I was working with second graders. Those are the ones I usually do best with.
Get them at a young age, right?
Yeah, well, I learned about them because my wife taught kindergarten, first, second, and
Aha.
I retired before she did, so sometimes I'd wander over to her classroom and she would encourage me to teach fractions by making biscuits, quarter cup, half cup, third of a cup, mix it all together, bake it, and so they had something good at the end of it. I guess that's one way of learning fractions.
Is that one of the other things you do? You cook and bake?
I've done that too.
You've
yes.
done that too. Okay.
I have made a few blueberry pies in past years.
I bet you have. And how about a peach pie? Any of that lately?
No.
Don't go there. Okay. What else have Freedom Village done for you?
Well, in past years, they took us on longer trips.
That's a long time ago,
And
right?
one of the
How
longest,
First of all, how long have you been here?
just over 11 years
11
now.
years. So we're talking 11 years ago. Okay, go ahead. Now with your little story there. Yes.
And I can throw a picture up again if you'll have to make them bigger sometime, but they took us whitewater rafting out in
Colorado?
out in the west. No, this was
Utah?
not Colorado. It was
Utah, maybe.
Snake River.
Oh, yes.
They took us up to see the Tetons,
Uh-huh.
and it's just a gorgeous, things I hadn't seen, and we even discovered cheesecake on some of the rivers. It's, I happened to take a picture
Let
of this
me
young
see.
lady.
Who is that?
She told me her name was Louise.
Okay. Just someone you happened to meet there, right?
Well, yeah, there she was sitting on the riverbank.
That's a story, Louise by the riverbank.
That's right.
So those are all the benefits that you received here, but we have also in just meeting you. And where do you plan to go from here with all of your talents?
Well, I'm not sure about the talents. I guess I enjoy myself on Tuesday nights playing hand and foot. We can always use more people,
Okay.
but it's fun to be setting that up and watching people talk with each other.
Is that a difficult game to learn, or is that pretty simple?
I think I learned it under another name called canasta back in the 1940s.
Oh.
The only difference is you're using two hands or a hand and foot instead of just one. But it's the same game. There's nothing complicated.
But that's a good way to get to know somebody if you're moved here. You play
Yeah.
the game.
Right, and sometimes in the past I played cribbage with Greg Pluvogel and some others, and we ended up playing cribbage in one of the local high schools
Is that right?
in January a couple times. It was
A
just
competition or just playing it
it
there?
was something they do. They come here, and then we go there. That was in the past. But.
That's interesting that you keep that contact with students
Yeah.
and education. Huh, yes?
Yes.
That's a good part of your
I
life.
enjoy it.
That's wonderful. A really great time to talk with you. I got to know you better than ever. And maybe, is there anything more you'd like to talk about?
Well, I can tell you other places Freedom Village has taken us. They took us for a cruise on the Rhine, and that was great. We visited castles and enjoyed some local beverages, and we visited Paris and the beaches at Normandy.
They're wonderful trips. Wonderful.
There they are.
memories.
And
Were
before
always
we
a lot-
moved here.
Were there a lot of people that went on those trips and on those
Oh yes,
tours?
usually 3 dozen or so.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. And Marty and I traveled before we moved here. One of my favorites was going to Alaska and Russia. We went to Alaska. We were in a small boat, a very small boat, offshore on an island off the coast of Alaska. And the guy had a book full of pictures of whale tails, and each picture had a name. I don't know that he knew this one, but this was about 30, 40 feet from the little boat we were in, a little 12-foot boat. It was fascinating.
Was it turbulent? Was it calm?
It was calm because he was racing to see where a puffin was going. I didn't quite follow that. He said something about a rookery.
Oh, yeah.
Then another time we were in Russia and we got north of the Arctic Circle, way north of St. Petersburg, and another island, and it was just a fascinating place.
Were you on a boat or were you on land? If you were on land
No,
at that
we were on, this was taken from a boat. It's,
That's fantastic.
you're always taking a boat if you're in Russia. You know, toured the Volga River and the canals that go through the mountains. You know, I didn't know, for instance, that St. Petersburg was the Venice of the North. It's all canals.
Beautiful.
And one time we traveled the canals, and another time we traveled the subways in St. Petersburg, where they tried to arrest me for having a camera. But, you know, things are fun. It got really fun.
Yeah, you do look suspicious. I
It
think,
was.
you
So
know.
we tried to get away from that, so they took us to a grocery store. I did very well in the grocery store until I got to the checkout counter and saw all of the AK-47s and knives mounted on the wall at the end of the checkout counter, and I wondered if we were allowed to buy them.
Oh,
Apparently not.
did you? I would imagine with your straightforwardness that you would have asked that question as well.
Well, I do.
Yes,
I
yes,
do.
you have.
But
Well,
I-
this has been delightful. We could go on and on. You've got more stories than I even expected that you had. Although, I guess knowing you as little bit as I do, you would have a lot of stories.
Well, the second grade one with the baggy books, I
That-
really
that's-
encourage other people to try that.
Yeah.
It's fun working with kids.
I think that's a wonderful way for us to end this little discussion and this conversation, to encourage people to do that, because that's a lifetime thing for those kids.
Oh, yes. And for the people here.
And to keep people here active, yes.
Yes.
and that's what we need. That's what we should do. Thank you all for watching, and thank you, Jack, for being here.
You're welcome.
And for sharing all your stories. And I bet we could go on for another half hour, but I think we'll stop
least.
right here. Thank you.
All right. Well, I think that's all we have for this week.
I think so.
Unless we have a little nonsense. We always have a little nonsense.
Just a little bit.
But since it is National Rice Krispie Treat Day, I would like to know what cereal you think would make the best Rice Krispies other than Rice Krispies.
Oh, what would make the best treat? That's a good one. I think Reese's Peanut Butter Puffs.
Ooh, Reese's Cups. Reese's Puffs. Reese's Puffs, yeah.
And they make a mini one now, so they'd be real
Do
little.
they? Ooh, that might be really good.
Yeah.
I personally love a Fruity Pebbles Rice Krispie treat.
Yes.
Just with like the fruit. Oh, it's so yummy. But
I've made a s'mores themed one with golden grahams and chocolate chips before too, and that's pretty good.
that would be delicious. There are just so many options.
There are.
Endless options. I love it.
It's Monday morning, and you know what that means. It's time for nonsense. Nonsense with Noah. Let's hit the hall.
Krispie treat made with a cereal other than Rice Krispies. What would you choose?
Cornflakes.
Cornflakes?
Cornflakes.
Cornflakes. All right. If you were to have a Rice Krispie treat made out of something other than Rice Krispies, what cereal would you choose?
Cheerios.
Perfect. Thank you. Okay, here's my weird question for you. If you were to have a Rice Krispie treat made with any other kind of cereal other than Rice Krispies, what cereal would you choose?
Maybe you could make them with cinnamon Cheerios.
Ooh, cinnamon Cheerios. That would be delicious.
They're very good.
Yes, I like that answer.
Okay.
Thank
that's
you.
My
If you were to make a Rice Krispie treat with a cereal other than Rice Krispies, what cereal would you choose? Cornflakes. All right, perfect. Krispie treat with a cereal other than Rice Krispies.
Puffed wheat.
Puffed wheat. Frank?
Chex Mix.
Chex Mix. Delicious.
Thank you.
And all right, I think that wraps
I think
everything
that's
up.
everything for the week.
Well, that's Ashley.
That's Noah.
And this has been Monday Morning. We'll see you next week. Bye.